2 weeks ago, a true fashion legend passed away, Giorgio Armani. I'm sure all of us have tried at least one of his products at some point in our lives. Maybe it was a fragrance like Armani Code or Acqua di Gio, or perhaps it was an Armani suit or a pair of his sunglasses. Whatever it may be, his products were truly iconic, and his life even more so. This is a man that built a luxury fashion empire and left a legacy so big, it not only changed the way we do fashion, but left a lasting impact on our culture. And that's exactly what we're going to dive into today. In this video, we'll explore how Giorgio Armani started out in fashion, how he built his empire, and why he was so influential in fashion and our culture. But before we dive into it, I'm Nick and welcome to my channel where I discuss gents style and lifestyle. If you're a man that values dressing well, then click subscribe because I upload weekly content. To start, I want to give a little bit of background on how Giorgio Armani began his career in fashion. Armani grew up in Piacenza, Italy, and initially pursued medicine at the University of Milan before he joined the military, which ended up nudging him in a different direction. In Milan, Armani landed his first job in the fashion industry at the department store La Rinascente and actually started out as a window dresser. That's really where he learned how to sell, where he gained valuable experience learning about fabric, fit, and presentation. In the 1960s, he went to work for Nino Cerruti, which was his first role designing menswear. By the early 1970s, he was freelancing around Milan for different labels, working with as many as 10 at one time. Armani met Sergio Galeotti, who became his partner and eventually convinced him to open up his own design office in Milan. A few years later, he was finally ready to launch his own label, and in 1975, him and Galeotti formally founded Giorgio Armani, with his first collection of ready-to-wear menswear, and then women's wear following a year later. In 1985, Galeotti passed away, and it forced Armani to take full creative and business control, which was a tough moment for him, but it cemented the discipline and the independence that define the brand. The signatures that you know of the Armani brand, the soft jackets, the calm neutrals, the quiet power look, that all began here. When you think of Armani, you don't just picture a suit. You picture a whole fashion ecosystem with multiple different sub-brands and product lines. If you want the core look without the mainline price, you go to Emporio Armani, which he launched in 1981. If you're younger or want something more street and accessible, you go to Armani Exchange, which he launched in 1991. These brands all carry the same Armani traits: clean lines, calm colors. They're just different doors and price points so you can buy in where it makes sense for you. And you've probably met the brand in other ways too. That cologne you reach for, Armani Code or Acqua di Gio, that's under Armani Beauty. Your go-to shades, that's Armani Eyewear. Even your watch might be under the Armani umbrella. And if you love interiors, Armani Casa, which he launched in 2000, lets you live with that same quiet elegance at home. At the high end, there's Armani Privé, launched in 2005. If you're active and a fan of athleisure and sportswear, EA7 is the sport pillar. And you can even experience living in the Armani aesthetic because in 2010, he launched Armani Hotel Dubai and Armani Hotel Milano in 2011, plus cafes and restaurants. Armani built a global luxury fashion empire, and through it all, he kept tight control over the aesthetic and the brand. And that's why the Armani world feels so cohesive. Whether it's a jacket, a fragrance, or a hotel lobby, it all has that same Milanese style throughout. Giorgio Armani changed both men's and women's fashion, and if you've ever put on a blazer that feels more like a cardigan, you're feeling his impact. Armani's big move was simple but radical. He relaxed the suit. He stripped out the heavy padding, eased the shoulders, lightened the inner lining, and let the fabric drape with the body. He made the power suit less armored and more effortless. He also wanted your eye to focus on proportion and drape, not busy detail, so what he did was he kept the color palette neutral. Navies, grays, and beiges. And this approach transformed men's tailoring in the 20th century, and it also flowed into women's wear as well. He also rewired dress codes, like open collars and t-shirts with suits, loafers instead of Oxfords, and separates that were flexible. This really is the DNA of business casual and modern quiet luxury. Evening wear followed the same rules. Tuxedos became slim and precise, and gowns became sleek. Armani proved that restraint and understatement isn't boring, it's persuasive, and he helped normalize it as a status signal. Armani's impact wasn't solely in the fashion industry, it extended beyond into film, celebrity, and sport. If you've seen the movie American Gigolo, where Richard Gere's outfits really impressed, then you've seen the moment Armani went mainstream. This is the moment Armani's soft tailoring aesthetic became an obsession, and soon the red carpet followed with sleek tuxedos, sculpted gowns, and that signature understated look. He went on to design costumes for over 100 films, including The Untouchables in 1987. In the city and in the boardroom, that same calm, perfectly cut look was adopted by CEOs and statesmen as a quiet power move. Then came Italy's colors. Since 2012, Armani has dressed Team Italy at multiple Olympic Games, aligning athletic performance with Italian design. And speaking of sports, through his brand EA7 Emporio Armani, he pushed into everyday athleisure. And if you're a basketball fan, perhaps you already know that Armani has had a long-standing relationship with Olimpia Milano Basketball, where his name has not only been on the jersey, but also in ownership. Armani truly left an impact in fashion and culture that we still see and love today, and the name Armani has become synonymous with Italian elegance. And that's why Giorgio Armani is such a fashion legend. This was a fun video to make. Guys, if you liked this video, give it a like because it helps out the channel, and let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite Armani product? Thanks for watching.